Introducing the Lads Gear J-Frame Holster, as reliable and durable as the gun you choose to carry. All right, let's dig into this thing. When your holster system arrives, this is what it's going to look like, or does look like for you. You'll see that you've got all your parts in the box here. Let's pull this out and take a look at it. All right, and I will point out that whenever you get a box or a bag from Lads Gear, it's going to be tagged to show you exactly what's in that box, just as we've done here. And as we get to all of the different kits, they'll each be identified in the same way. All right. Now, you'll see that there's 4 bags or 4 kits in here. 3 of them are for the various styles of carry, inside the waistband, outside the waistband, and pocket. We're going to begin with the holster kit, which houses your actual holster. All right. One thing you'll note is that when you open your package, you're going to find this cutter for you that we provide as a courtesy. You'll see why in a minute. There are lots of parts and accessories that you're going to love having, and we want to make it easy for you to get into them. Let's just start with the actual holster, and we'll get this guy cut open real quick. And here we have it. All right, let's get into this pocket carry kit. So there's a couple of parts here that we're going to talk about. The thumb press and the pocket hook. We'll start with the pocket hook and explain how this works. So when people carry a weapon in a holster in their pocket, what they really want to be sure they do is keep the holster in the pocket when the weapon is drawn. They don't want, and this does happen sometimes, they don't want the holster to draw out of the pocket with the weapon. With the Lads Gear holster system, the first thing we do is we have an almost indestructible Kevlar infused neoprene fabric that's very sticky, and it clings to the inside of the pocket and makes the holster want to stay when you draw. But there's other things, just to add additional reassurance that happens, that we have devised to facilitate this. There's a pocket hook, and the pocket hook can be placed here, or it could be placed lower on the holster. Frankly, it could be put on either side of the holster. And the purpose for this is when it is inserted in the pocket and the gun is drawn, the hook catches the edge or the lip of your pocket and makes sure that the holster stays when the weapon is drawn. So you can see how this would help to ensure that the holster stays in the pocket during draw. All right, the other thing that we do to ensure that the holster stays in the pocket when the gun is drawn is we provide the thumb press for you. And the way that this works is you fasten the thumb press in the place that feels natural and comfortable, so that when your hand goes into the pocket, you can unseat the weapon to make sure that it is fully withdrawing from the holster without the holster staying in the while the holster stays in the pocket. And again, these 2 things can actually be used simultaneously if you chose to. Again, with all of our systems and all of the styles of carry, our holsters are fully ambidextrous. But these are the ways that we optimize for pocket carry to make sure your carry experience is as good as it can be. All right, now we're going to talk about the inside the waistband method of carry with the Lads Gear holster system. Obviously, that's a very popular style of carry, and I'm going to introduce you to a couple of more accessories that we have that's specifically for that. This is the upper reholster device. You can see that it is rigid, and that this is designed so that when it is being carried inside the waistband under the belt can collapse the holster under those circumstances. The reholster device makes sure that the holster stays in the open position so that reholstering is easy. So we're going to talk about a little bit about how to get this inserted and how to get it properly sized for your holster now. All right, so the reholster device obviously is very important with inside the waistband carry. Now, one thing I'd like to point out is that there is a lot of hook, a lot of surface area of hook on this accessory, and obviously inside the holster, there's a lot of surface area of loop. The reason I point this out is if you want to keep your holster easily modifiable and customizable, then once this is fully seated, it can be hard to get out. So we have provided you with the easy release device. And the purpose of this, frankly, is just to decrease the amount of surface area where the hook and loop come into contact with each other. And it is our advice that you use this if you think that you in the future might change how you have customized your holster, so that this comes out a little bit more easily. So let me show you how you insert this. You're going to take the insertion swatch that comes with your holster. You're going to wrap this smooth satin swatch around the reholster device and right up to the shoulders of the accessory. And you're going to insert it like this. And you're going to push it all the way down until those shoulders are pretty much level or even with the top of the holster. Once you're there and it's symmetrical, you're going to want to line it up so that the tail is pretty much down the top ridge of the holster. You're going to fold this tab over to hold it in place right there. Once that's done, then what you're going to do is slowly and carefully, you're going to remove the insertion swatch. Just like that. And you're going to work it out so that it stays more or less in place. And again, this whole thing stays kind of symmetrical along the ridge line. Just fasten it as it goes down. And there you have it. Now it's fully seated on the inside of the holster. Now, obviously, we have this long tail sticking out. The reason we provide this to you this way is because all of our accessories fit all of our holsters. So at this point, what you're going to do is you're going to take the scissors, you're going to peel back the easy release just a little bit so that we're snipping it off behind the front edge of the holster. As much as possible. If you can maybe get 1/4 or 3/8 of an inch, that'll be fine. And then you're going to snug the reholster device into place, and you're going to snip it off flush. The reason we do this is we want the hook and that last 1/4 inch to grab tightly and make sure that it's fully sealed. And you can see now we have a rigid holster that's going to hold the holster open even when it's under the weight of the belt, so that it's easy to insert the gun when reholstering. All right, now the top tensioner or upper tensioner is also viable in some applications, and I just wanted to point out that it is inserted in the exact same way as the reholster device. But of course, the application for this is a little bit different. This is for occasions when perhaps your holster is a little big for the gun that you are now modifying it to fit, and you just need a little bit of a spacer to tighten things up. Or perhaps you want a little bit more rigidity, but not quite that much rigidity. This can provide that for you. But I just wanted to point out that this is for use at your discretion and for those purposes. Now, there's also the lower reholster device, which works just like the lower tensioner. It goes in the bottom of the holster like this. And again, it is designed to make sure that the holster is held open when reholstering. All right, let's talk a little bit about the lower reholster device. This can be used in the bottom portion of the holster just to help hold it open. One thing I would note is that in this application, that is really tight and probably not needed. This is the LCR, but the Kimber revolver, that's a perfect fit. So again, whichever weapon you're using, whatever your choice of guns, you can tailor this to do exactly what you need it to do. Now that we have the upper reholster set, let's refasten our trigger guard stop so that the weapon is seated in exactly the location we like. The front of the stop is about right there. So let's put this in here. Should be close. There you go. Stops right there every time. Okay. We provide you with another thumb press for use in the inside the waistband carry, and the accessory that we're really excited about that gets a lot of use and is very, very helpful is the belt clip. Let me explain to you how this works. The belt clip is fastened to the loop that is found on the exterior of the holster. So if you're carrying strong side, or you're carrying appendix, or you're carrying cross draw, you can simply change the cant of the gun based on its location by altering the belt clip. The other thing that's important to point out is this slot right here is where your pant is inserted, and this slot is where your belt is inserted. That way, the holster can never be pushed down because the pant's holding it, or pulled out when drawing because the belt's holding it. All right, let's talk about the outside the waistband carry for the Lads Gear holster system. Start off with, you find a morale patch. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. Just put that there for now, and let's open up this package and see what we have in here. Inside, you'll have the outside the waistband full kit. All right, so let's talk about how the outside the waistband platform works. We'll explain all of these parts to you and show you how it all fits together. This top part is what we call the outside the waistband strap. These parts are all adhered by adhesive and also double stitched to make sure that there's no failure points. You'll find these types of extra measures taken on all of our holsters and all of our parts to make sure you get an exceptional amount of worry-free use out of these. This product on the inside is what we call the outside the waistband wrap. You'll notice that this is made of the neoprene holster material. And the reason we do that is because when these are combined to hold it in its proper location, they are incredibly sticky and clingy, and they hold the gun in precisely that location when it's wrapped fully. Now, I'm going to undo some of this and show you some of the other parts that are included here and show you how this system holds together. These two parts on the bottom are called the stabilizers. We'll show you in a moment how these guys work. All right, from here, what we like to do is figure out where we want the holster to reside on the platform. And the reason we want to do this is because we want to affix the stabilizers to the hook that you see here and the loop that you see here to make sure that the holster stays in that location no matter what. So let's look at that again. So we want it to go something kind of like that. So we're going to take one stabilizer and place it just like that. And we're going to take the other stabilizer and place it like that. So you can see they're going to hold it in exactly that location, and it really melds the platform to the holster. All right, now that we've placed the stabilizers where we want them, what we're going to do is take the wrap, and we are going to feed it back through like it was. Get a nice firm fix on those guys, back up through there. And then we put this back where we'd originally positioned it. We get a good wrap here. Then we take the top strap and hold it all together like that. And there is the lad's gear outside the waistband platform with your morale patch.